prior to me clicking live, but once I'm live, I can have you guys on there. So it's screwy. So give me 1 second here. Then you can join in, apparently. Email. All right, welcome YouTube. Jeff, we'll follow traders. Today we're going to be going over the gap list and very quickly then start off on our trading as well as doing the XSP daily iron condor, either credit or debit side. I'll share with you in a few minutes. Let's take a look at the gap list here. Start with Teradyne. Little consolidation on the hourly chart in here, gapping up. Actually, I don't like this. It only has 75,000 in volume. It was up here quite nicely. The spread wasn't there, so I'm not crazy about this. I'll leave it, but it's probably not going to be a play unless something gets back together and volume does pick up. CCJ rather. Decent sign. Getting up over the top, not yet. But yeah, actually it is. Get over the top here. Not a crazy gap here. Well, actually, it's not too bad. 2.63%. It does about 260 in volume in the range today. We'll see how it opens and holds. And if you're new to day trading, the dilemma day trading is having in these days is that you can't trust these 1 and 2 minute charts more than you can throw them. The breakouts are failing. Most stocks that are gapping up are failing. And I say that most. Normally you wouldn't see that. But earnings or not earnings, I would go to most of these gaps. I see them gap up. I'm going to say 70% of the gap ups fail. I mean, they fail big red bars. Not quite as bad as Ollie, but here it's a dramatic bar that came back at the end of the day. But I mean, they're failing immensely. CELE, nice little peek in pre-market in here. Decent volume. It's not an earnings play, obviously basic, but this is consumer defense. It's one of the basic materials is back here, I think. Right there, CCJ. So consumer defense, basic materials moving up here, getting up to the pivot area. On the downside, it's actually, Marvell was big. Dell is actually gapping down. Looked like it started to climb, got above the 8, above the 20, a little bit of a crisscross. Well, long leg doji, kind of a indecision bar, and then it gapped down on earnings, it looks like. So Dell definitely they're not happy with that result. And then finally, Marvell, this is down around 16.5%. This doesn't become a play for us, right? But it just was down about 12 when I put on the list. It continues to fall here. So can't go short on those because they either bounce in your face or they go further, but it's very random. And I want to try to stay away from random as much as possible. So I don't have a lot more on the list. Most of the gap lists have been failing in the last weeks that I can see. Most of these you don't have, you find your plays if you find anything at all by going through the scans. And we'll likely do that again today. So if you're just kind of joining with us now, over the next few weeks, I'm going to be working on a kind of a unique, different model that I used to use in the past, but a little more kind of refined in terms of day trading. So as that becomes more available, I'll let you know. It will be in lines to what this is in the SPY using these larger timeframes, and also moving back or down to a basket of stocks. Trying to search for 10,000 stocks and find the one is needle in a haystack every day. Take volume stocks in the Mag 7 or maybe the top 10 stocks here. Performance from Amazon's, Apple's, AMD's, Google's, and Tesla's, and of course the SPY. These could be maybe providing better opportunities for more consistency here. This is just a quick little mark off where the high yesterday was in the SPY, where the low yesterday in the SPY. And then obviously this is pre-market high, pre-market low with the magenta color line here. Anyway, so yesterday, if you're just joining here, we did minor pullback. It wasn't too bad overall. Here, back to my chart. Wasn't too bad. 188 back for me on that particular one. Here we're open now. But that's small compared to what 3 contracts would have given. As you might guess, once you go to the larger contracts, the pullback happens. This is how the market treats you. So, but they are small relative to what the contract size is. So wait and see how that happens. I'm going to pull this off to the side real quick. And let's see how the market actually comes into the open. It looks like SEDGI moving here. So the TAN stocks, solar, First Solar, a little bit Enphase, a little bit CFCQ. We're in Kava here, watching Kava. This is the Mediterranean restaurant. Has tremendous gap down, but I think I'm gonna buy this back. They seem to be the health food type markets. They seem to be wanting to get up on. So we'll see if this thing makes it come back. We almost got out of this yesterday. It didn't quite go up to our 690 area. Those orders are off. I don't have those orders on anymore. So this is a fresh day. And the other one was Walmart. Retail sales is out this morning here. Walmart, looking for higher prices in Walmart. I need to go back and I almost did this. I didn't quite get this done and set this VWAP. Go back to properties. Set this VWAP on yesterday's open, which I think was down here. Actually, it was up here.
VIX is up.
VIX is up. Thank you, Bill. VIX is gapping up. Definitively, we're down here at the bottom here. So we look back on the gap ups in the VIX. Stay on this for a little bit. Back to the credit side, right? I've just got us going back and forth here. All right, so keep this kind of close because I do want to. Work that in a second. So let's pull up the XSP on the option chain and see the roundabouts where we're at here. So we're at 932.5 right now. 29.0 DTE. It's 648.75. So for kicks and giggles, we'll look at the 649s. And we're going to be selling options. Oh, this red bar's bringing it in some here. See what the 649 represents. Oops, too wide. That's not a too wide. 2 deltas are pushing us back to about here. Press 6 wide. Symmetrical. What is that? 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43. Better premium, right? Because the gap down was more, well, I mean, 15, 20 cents. And that's the 649. So I don't know we're going to be there. It's 933.55. We're getting close. we're straddling. You know, the SPY moves around a lot of times in the morning, that draws the XSP down because it basically is it. We're going lower here in the markets. Let's see if we get a little bit of a short-term bounce that will make our decision. It's 648.56, give or take, holding that area.
You're going 6 wide or 5 wide?
It looks like it's a six wide here. See, 49 to 55, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide. If you're being symmetrical. Okay,
55.
this looks to be over that area, so it looks like this is gonna be the one. Let's just see what the $2 range gives me on credit. I don't think it's gonna move it much. Just in case I do wanna check this. Like back to 2 for me. I know it's pulling back here, but when I saw it at 934.5, which is kind of where my marker is, that's where I have to make my decisions from. Whatever it is, it is. Remember, credits, you do want high prices. So you do want it to make sure you're bidding above, not below. Yeah, but you want to build below. Okay, and then we want to bid. Oh, let's bid 205 for this bad boy. Two contracts. Limit order. Start at 205, we can change. Orders in at 205. You can see here when I do that, it changes the menu of the mid prices in here. So what do you need the market to do? Well, the market's sitting here 648.50, right? It's kind of where our strikes are at 649. So if it goes back up, that will close in the credit a little bit more. We want it to go down, to go away like it's doing now. We don't want it to get closer to the mark. A little bit more of a sweeping down bar would probably bring this up to our marker. If we go up, it's going to go down a little bit here, but it's quite early, so it's not going to bake in a lot of price action here this early in the morning. Usually. Man, talking about getting out early. The debt went to the 100, felt it, kept going, didn't it? We figure if you would have kept it, we came back down and got you to break even. Feels like sometimes.
What is currently XSP center on currently?
49.
That's the strike, but where the price is, I'm just looking at the price XSP.
648.39. But when I did it, it was over the 50 marker, so I grabbed the credit above.
Okay.
Coming down to the market's going to throw our credit up there a little bit. Good chance to get filled here. A little bit more. There we go.
Yeah, I got filled.
Filled at 205. All right, so we got that in. Now we can just move on. That 10 stock's doing good. Walmart just kind of hovering around our 96. Copper pulling in a little bit here. Remember that 8? It's such an enemy. Times.
One notification.
Were your wings 5 wide?
They were 6, I believe, 49 to 65. They were 6 wide. Now, if you change your strike, they might be 5 wide with the same premium, but at the time, what I've been doing is I've been letting 934.5 go by, and whatever it is, I'm just going with it, regardless if it changes by the time it's up my order in. But I have 6 wide in this. So if you have 6 wide, you got a $2 VIG, you got a $400 risk on a contract, max risk if it closed outside of your box, which is unlikely, but everything's always possible. All right, let's go back to Teradyne. These are the gap up. Once again, it's kind of spotty, not a lot of volume in this. We mentioned that early on. Decent volume in CCJ. Again, you almost should just make a strategy is just shorting the gaps because that seems to be the big MO here of late. They just drop, as you can see in CCAG, and not to be coincidental, this the CELH doing the same thing. So what gives? Dell, down quite a bit. It's at 1.5 ATR. I'm a little concerned about the drawdown, but watch it. Marvell can't play that one.
If we only have one contract, we can go ahead and enter
Yeah.
our buyback right now, can't we?
What's that?
If we're only in for one contract, we can go ahead and enter our buyback at 50% right now.
Yep.
I think-
So I'm showing 202. So let's say it's 101 if you use commissions in that So 101 would be your buyback.
I got in at 205, so my buyback is like
Come up with the other number earlier.
102, 103, something like that.
Yeah, I have 202.20. Again, you don't have, you could just
Oh,
say.
you're doing after commission. That's right. I'm doing
Right,
before
doing after,
commission.
just so I can look at the number and make the cost. It actually works out, I think, a little bit better, right? Makes it a little further. Kind of get your commission back in a way. This did break $6 yesterday, pulled back off that top here a little bit, but still, I think you ran up to that area. Trying again. And remember, you have a high gamma on Walmart 14-day expiration on this, but we're low enough where I think we can get at least a retracement. I don't know, if this is a negative situation because it's below everything, but it's going to get the reversion to the mean. Should bring our Walmart back up. Hopefully, let's hoping that retail sales be a little bit better today, and that would give us a nice starting point. And it did not seem to matter off the bat here. Once again, gapless. Look at these guys. I mean, how do you trade that? How do you trade that? And the answer is you don't. Okay, volume scan here. Let's see what's holding up here. So I'm going to go search for the relative strength stocks. You can see Autodesk must have been a late morning gap. I didn't see that earlier on the S&P list, or maybe it didn't hit my filters, but it's definitely up here. The issue is it's up 11%. Eastman Kodak. Sounds so antiquated, doesn't it? Anyway, nothing here. Doesn't do a lot of volume. $40.60. Mitch gapped up here. No, $1.08 range. I don't look at dollars anymore, honestly. I used to bet was my break point. They got to be about $1.50 to get my interest. As far as the movement, the range of the stock. These are what they consider to be relatively strong this morning. These are all things that are pointing up. And the market's going down. BBY was gap was there's just no range in gap. Gap had a nice gap over the bar. Look at it, failed. There's just no range though. That gap is only 80-cent RDI. ADR. Nike going up. So it looks like the Nike, the ON maybe a little bit there, but Nike and Dex are making the moves as far as outdoor, outfitters and things like that. This is Mr. Cooper or sorry, not health, not real estate, but Cooper Healthcare gap down coming back. That may help some healthcare. It is the UNH a little bit. Are starting trying to get going here. I think we could make $400 or $500 in this Walmart here. We just get a little bit out of the box. The thing will move quick. That gamma is poised to move. These already went. These are stocks that are relatively strong to some degree, but you can see by looking at the charts, the ones that are up here already up here or they're sloppy. 3.8 million in the SPY right now. Not sure there's anything to look at this gap. We've already looked at this a couple of times. Each time I'm disappointed with it. They gap up, they fail back down the open line. Then, or this one here is Christmas tree here inverted. You can see volume start to come in a little bit here, but not too spready. But you never take these double tops right here, right? They're almost like doing a 52-week high. People sell into these if they're more known stocks. You wait for basis and then you look see what cup and handle. That's why the term you hear cup and handle. You have to have a handle to validate the resistance. That if it maintains resistance, that means supply is coming off. If it tries to break through and fails, that's a luck of the draw. They'll go sometimes, but the handle is a better representation because it shows you supply is coming off and the bids are willing to stick. Usually when supply comes off, it affects price. Supply comes off and it's a straight line across after a cup. That means the prices are holding. The bids are, at least in the short term, holding up the stance. Then you look for, engulfing bars in there. Then you look for maybe bottom tails, hammers, and things like that. Something triggered here. So the SPY moved. This is interesting here. The SPY moved. Let's take a look at it on this. Again, this is just one I set up today.
One notification.
Okay, so the SPY moved down here to pre-market low and post-market low. Now I'm not going to play anything off of here, but pre and post low are right here. We just triggered that. That's where you can just set these alerts and let them go. Now, if you played it off, that's one thing. I would prefer, I don't really think it's enough to try to do some sort of an inverted, buy setup of some sort. I think you need these bigger things. I'm not crazy about, maybe I use it as target areas, but I'm not crazy about taking trades off of the pre-market high and low. Target areas maybe, but this would be a better one down to 645, 30s. But we can watch to see how this actually plays out today. Nothing official on that. Wow, moving back pretty good here. So market's heading down. Inside day still. Ended up being a wide range. One of the issues yesterday in the SPY or the XSP is that the fact the market went down and then it went way up, and it had, by the time it struggled higher, it had to go all the way back up and then to here. It got a good ways, but it had to start at the bottom. But it started about mid-price, we would actually came in money. Finished okay. Market definitely selling off. We don't want to see that in the credits too much, but sometimes I don't mind that. I always expect the bounce, that little reversion. How we're doing well on all that. See the videos helping to draw. Oh yeah, the video's drawing down. Look at that. Q's at 0.84 down. The NASDAQ, the SPY is at 0.41. Once again, this week we've seen the Q's almost every day, at least initially, start selling off in the tech. Now, probably because some of these earnings coming in here in the semiconductors, the cat's out of the bag on the video. But and then the video is, then the Qs have been gaining ground again. The broader market hasn't changed. It's 11% we'll look at in pre-market. As far as the ETFs in here, outside of cannabis, TAN still being the high one. That's no surprise. We're seeing that show up in the EMPH. We'll check for solar. Energy's got a little bit of a tick up. And then we can see here, semis 2.21% down already. That's drawing the broader market down, and of course the NASDAQ down. Tech right behind it, as you might expect. And biotech selling off. And even some of the retailers haven't got traction back here again. They've had a pretty good move. I'll check for solar. All right, first solar, interesting and buy setup in here. It got a little bit behind itself in here. About 61.8, touched the 20, got rising above the 8. Kind of like First Solar, see what the market does here or doesn't do. We're down $1.50-ish. SPY 646, 647. Yeah, about $1.75-ish down from the high, off the high, which is kind of where we opened in here. Cobb and Walmart doing fine, all things considered. This could go to, I have a little less faith in that and the NPH. And again, yesterday's high is 199.78. You notice how we came up here today and hit 199.80, right? Literally 2 pennies above. A $200 stock went 2 pennies above, which is right up here. So I like it, and I like that it's strong. Market's still rolling in on us. All right, time to read for the reversion here. Back to this paradigm, see how it did. Once it got up to supply, what happened? There was no handle. It just fell at supply, you know, open tops, and they sold off of that. Still may go higher, but not for us. 1 minute chart, by the way, getting a little bit of a bottoming tail here. As a matter of fact, I think we were at, yeah, so we're at 1 standard deviation down. Now, I'm not interested in playing these until we get on the SPY, until I get down to 2 standard deviation, right? At least in that area. And then I still wait and I let it double bottom a couple times, and then I'll nibble half my
One
position.
notification.
But I don't know if we're gonna get there today. I don't want it to. But sometimes that's a consolation to your credit going sideways on you. Nothing here still, everything's still pretty. Come see, come saw. Let's keep First Solar on this watch list, however. Another important thing to note is a lot of times when you're playing these mechanicals off the baskets, very often you look at those after 10 o'clock. You don't want to get involved too heavily until it really gets the reversal time and those areas hit. So you hit the areas after 10, it make a lot more sense. And that slop in you here is my #1 fan behind me, my dog. Flopping her water down here. All right, still kind of in observation mode. We're sort of backed up pretty good here. I do like it. I don't like to see where the 8 is. Look at the 8, guys. Closed at, below. Went to it, backed off, closed below, added. Powerful. And Kava did the same thing. That's why we tried to exit yesterday. So, but it's holding up pretty strong. I just think it's overbaked. It's a good stock. I think people really like that stock. All right, getting a little bit of reversion in here. Again, no day trades once again. I have no confidence in this. Direction trades. I'm gonna scan though. We go to 2 and 5 to take some of the noise out. We haven't been out of the box, been getting a shift of market's been normally sideways, right? For a while. But today it actually moved. And because it moved and you have one center strike, obviously in hindsight, using the same strike with better credit would have been more apropos, but we're going off what it was showing here. It's going sideways today. It took a leap down quickly. So for whatever reason. All right, keep looking. Nothing really blows the skirt up here. The other thing you can do, look at Capital One Financial falling, is when you have choppy markets, you move up in time frames to 15-minute charts, maybe fives, but at least 15s. They a lot of times they take the noise out of the pictures and give you more of a step back approach to where we think the market might be going in the short term. Or you go after 10 o'clock. That's a safer approach, but it doesn't always work out these days. Well, Jack's still doing good. We know that Nike is doing great. Still doing well. Hasn't broke over the top yet, but close. On this SMCI at 44.74. This is why I only did 100 shares, right? Because I was betting on the gap. So I have very little in this stock here. So I'm setting myself up for a potential add. Not today, not now, but why I want to go in smaller than that. Market take another leap sideways or south here. One of the biggest early moves we've had in quite some time. You see, we're going through standard deviation. We bounced off 1 SD. We're heading down towards 2. That's down still quite a bit. 643.10 is $2 and whatever away. I hope we don't see it from a credit spread perspective, but if we do, I'm likely going to be looking at buying 0 DTE SPY calls. Something like that. Still great enough. 118 down to the Dow. The Qs of the Nasdaq is down right at 1%, 0.97 I saw, and a 0.5% down in the broader market. UNH doing kind of well. You can see right in here with a weird day down the 8 but closed above it. It officially caught the 8. You can see we're starting to catch it in price. And a lot of times when you get these sideways moves, you don't take them early, you wait for them to come and catch the. Hey, this is such back and forth, but it actually is at it. Now it could go possibly, and it is holding up pretty well. Those stocks. Taiwan Semiconductors. They're down with the market like S&P here. I'm just not sure when this is bounced. Is it a great sell setup? It is. The problem is you're basing your stuff on tech. Let's take a look at that on a possibly on a bear call. Weekly spread. So it would be what, a 6-day? No, 7-day. Would be up in here. But again, we could get a big bottoming tail in here because the market's so far down that they buy it back here. It's likely to come with it. So let's wait on that and see what happens.
According to the box strategy, we are at the low buy point on SPY.
Oh, yeah, didn't see that. So the low here is 645.34. I have that on my thing too. When it actually touched it, didn't it? Bounced off it on the penny. Now, this is interesting. You just look at the SPY, right? And you see the low, and this is a 2-minute chart. You can say, well, do I want to buy the break back at 2 minutes and look at this pre-market as my stopping point? Possible. Look at it going down further. It's getting wild right here at 10 o'clock. See it? There's the 5-minute bar break. Buy this in 0 DT options as well, or put the low here, 645.20, and you're sporting, hasn't changed hands yet. 2 minutes, a bit risky.
That could be from the consumer sentiment numbers that just came out. I'm not
Oh,
sure
yeah.
what they are yet.
Michigan consumer sentiment. I forgot to post that this morning. Apologies. 5 minutes will give you a wider stop. It's going to take that 2-minute fake noise out. Small bounce. Shows the high here is 645.76, 645.20. See it going there? Going off the 2 quicker. See that? 5 has it triggered. This could be the 5 though. Let's see what happens. You have wider stops in the 5-2 potentially. Market's moving back up. UNH over 306 now. It's 701, so our 1001, so it just came in with this bar. See where it actually manifests that. So this is similar to what you want to be looking for, right? Previous day's low. I almost avoid the pre-market stuff, but maybe if I were doing somewhere a pre-market high would come out, but honestly, that close, I'll probably just come out to where the stock is. The normal trading day mark. Still well away from 2 standard deviation, but it's a pretty good move. Now the reversion to the mean in the SPY is perfect for the credit spread, right? Sometimes you almost you're waiting for the shoe to drop. Here it dropped early, and we want to see it bounce back up. If it takes longer to bounce, but it does, you'll get filled on the gamma rush higher. There is some good to that. Now, if you took SPY on the 0 DTE, it would be here's how you would play it. You don't have to take stock when you're dealing with the, because this is such a tight spread in the 0 DTE under the spiders. You have your weeklies up, August 29. And you can see here, you're at 645. This is a 0 DTE here, right? So you would be above that 646 and kind of go out of the money on this if you wanted to, just for a buck. I'm going to get these calls ready here. Now this is an arbitrary trade. Market's still kind of heading south again. Now let's take a look at this. Why is it going off there? Oh, Duolingo hit down to 310 again. Looks like. Look at that in a second. The SPY though, it's a chunk. Still moving south. Look at this 5-minute chart. Now take a look at this on the 2-minute chart right here. If you would have taken the 2-minute break at that area, you would have got in here and you've already taken out the low. If you've taken the 5-minute one, you never officially got in. So the penalty for taking the 2, you get in too early, but you got a better stop, make more money quicker. But you get taken out easier. The penalty of taking the 5 is that you have a wider stop, but you don't get caught too much in the trick bag. Again, wider placement usually is better, especially in high VIX. We're not really in a high VIX yet, but. Should have got out of that Kava yesterday. We came within a nickel. It's fine. We're only in half lot there. We got the SPY now at 80 cents. So the most you could lose in a zero DTE is 80 cents. If it went to zero, then you would probably win money to zero. Now that's out of the money. Right now at 646, I probably want to change that a little bit. So back over here to the SPY real quick. I would still probably stay out of the money to keep them lower because we're down so low. 645 is where I would probably want to be. Add to my watch list. Now you can hit market and see the spread right here. If you want to play this, load this up on your chain, right? We got a 5-minute new bar started here, so we're getting close. We're actually coming to SD lines at $1.40 away. That is not reeking good on our credit spread. Interestingly enough, First Solar is still looking pretty good. Most everything else is jacked up. I'm gonna focus on this SPY for a second, guys. And I'm looking at this from an option standpoint, 0 DT, wide range bar volume. Maybe this is gonna end the move. Dang, I just might as well wait for this. We're only about $1 away. Okay, this bar has to close and it hasn't closed yet. This is a 5-minute look. Let's bring this bar back up. Let me do it this way so I can keep my options on here.
What strike were you looking at?
One above this around 645. I was at 646 and it dropped, so now I'm doing the 645s. And I'm gonna go in with 5 contracts. There's been a little room for an add if I need to. The break point so far is 644.75, right? So go back down here. Still got a drop. We may go to ST1 line. This is one of the biggest, fastest drops we've had in
Yeah.
quite some time.
Just to confirm, did we see the VIX go higher? In my chart, VIX is showing we were open below the yesterday close.
Oh yeah, it actually worked into this would be perfect for a debit, right?
That's what I was thinking. On my charts in TradingView, VIX is showing open below the yesterday.
Right. Well, no, VIX actually opened above yesterday's close. Right there, above the cross, not by much, but it was up. It's
Can some-
44.75. Remember, this is you just hit market on this. You don't need to worry about the thing. The spread is always a penny or two. It's not there yet. See, the 2-minute might break, but stay with the 5.
Where's that?
Problem is VIX never returned to the mean. Kept
No.
going up,
I pressed
that's-
on that.
not what you wanted it to do.
No, it didn't. I mean, today the market just took off and there was no turning back. Still going lower. We're actually getting this SD2 lines in here. 645. If I get down there, I might have to move my strike down. I'm just gonna pull up the other strike to have it ready just in case I need it. Don't want to go much over $1 though. That's at 148.
Yeah, VIX is really killing us, actually. It just
Oh,
keeps
yes.
going up and up and up.
Markets, it's got its eyes on this lower price in here. See how been wrong on the 2 minute. Sometimes you're right on that. Right on the 5, the penalty is wider stop. Now on this one, I don't necessarily play this on the stop because I'm dealing with a 0 DT. I don't have a lot of room to go down. Currently, I still have the 645 calls because by the time it breaks, you're at 644.75. So I'm sticking with that. I just have the 44 up there. We are getting the volume spike here, 5. Yeah, I'm just doing half my contracts. If I see 75 hit, I'm prepared to hit market. I'd rather go on a new bar here. I'd rather just stay low and hit, so I'll have a better lower entry if it bounces. 2
So-
minutes action period.
Would you exit the XSP play? Or would you keep it?
Yeah, I'm not exiting right now. It's too early. We get a reversion bounce in here. It'll come right back. You can look at we're only at a halftime back.
Because I remember you were talking about putting some stop in this in one of
Yeah,
the
that would be 3 times back, which would be around $6.
which is anyway the width of the spread today. So no, don't bother.
Well, no, it'd still be different.
We
Be
entered
two,
it
be
2
4
times.
dollars. It would be 1 times 2 back would be 6. I think it could go further. Getting going, Kava did an inverted verse. See the 2-minute trigger again on the SPY. I really was thinking 2 standard deviation here, but may not give you the opportunity. Now we're 10-11, right? We're 11, well, our 2 minutes past the 5-minute bar cycle. That entry would be at 644.38. Not yet, we'd have to clear the 3 more minutes. The 2-minute keeps failing here so far. White spikes here a little bit, not too much, a little higher than one before, a little more than 2 times average. Still down lower.
Jeff, on these credit spreads, I wonder if it might be consideration to think about waiting a while to enter, because your center strike would have changed an awful lot this morning with the fact that the VIX kept rising and rising. And so we might have gotten in instead of 649, maybe at 648 or even 647. And I don't know what that would have done to the premium, if it would have shrunk so bad that it would not have made sense. But, in retrospect, looking backwards at the thing, maybe if there's a lot of movement and VIX is not behaving the way it should, returning to the mean, you wait a little while and your center strike changes.
We've kind of been doing that. The problem is been going sideways. This is the biggest move down we've seen.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, I don't know how much it would have cost you on a normal day to wait. That's the other thing.
I'm gonna buy this SPY right here, guys, at 630. If it gets over this area, 640. It's not there yet, it's almost. Sorry, Bill.
That's all, it's just, you know, it's just kind of a hindsight kind of thing, looking at the chart. That obviously today we would have been better off, I think,
Oh,
waiting.
yeah. Oh,
But
yeah,
I don't know on a normal day how much it would have hurt you to wait, you know, how much your premium would have decayed if you waited, say, until after 9 o'clock. You know, on a normal day where it does behave the way you think it's going to, does it
Yeah.
really kill you?
yeah, it doesn't kill you a lot because.
It'd
Guys,
be
the play for
interesting.
me is over 644.39. It's about there. 33, 35, 36. Not quite, keeps getting shuffled back here. Keeps getting shuffled back here. If we play this right, we can cover our credit spread money. Man, it gives a little green bar, and then it just went south again. Look at it. It's got its eyes on that 643.10-ish. Better price down here, but it hasn't broken yet. We haven't had a 5-minute bar break since the summer of '62. We're gonna pay up a little bit if it breaks it, but we just never know. We're down to 80 cents. We're still in the 645 calls. Yeah, because just playing the gamma run back on this. Still got 4 minutes to go. The new break is 644.20. We're gonna, we hit this, if we hit 2 standard deviation, I'm gonna move down to a 2-minute bar break. I'm not gonna wait on it. Still not there, and it's 10:16. So far, my bar break is 644.20. Not there yet. All these 2 minutes would have sent you packing, right? The same time bar is 644.20. Okay, I'm gonna do 644.20 if I get it. There's 10. Not yet, it's gonna be a market play. Didn't do it yet. It's fine with me. Dow's down 229, 1.23 in the NASDAQ. Here it comes again. Okay, I'm in. You can see it right here. I'm in at $1. Barely broke it here. It really didn't break the 5-minute, right? We just did on the same bar. Got about 2 minutes left. So in hindsight, you know, you should wait, but it's back far enough here. I'm expecting a bounce, but it's probably going to draw down off a little bit more. And just did partial. Say the bounce, at least for now, could be back to VWAP. That's $1.50. It's trying to here. It's going to have the Getty up. This is the only way I play these SPY calls. It has to be calls because I only play them when the market's going down. To 25. Still got 1 minute on that bar. I don't know that the entry is going to be any different. mean, who messed up and told the market to go down? Look where we are, we're pinned up against the 8 under the daily chart, and we've had a wide range, $4. Yeah, $4. We play our cards right on this one here, and we can come out good on this. We'll cover, if you're doing enough contracts, you'll cover yourself on this spread here today. That's what I aim to do. One again, there's the bar break, so technically we're in the same place. I'm fine with that. I'm not gonna be in a hurry to get out this. I'll let it dance a little bit. I think that open is way up here at 647. So I have 5 contracts in at $1. It's trading around 110. Remember, we're a little out of the money on this, so probably stymied a little bit on the delta movement initially. I could see myself playing this back to 646. The VWAP's at 645.62. Yeah, so if I get around that 646 marker, I'm probably gonna sell. That'll move us $1.50 up on a 50 delta, 75 cents. Already up about 10.85 cents, 8 times 5. It's about a $500 swing on 5 contracts. Just eyeballing. First 5-minute trigger happened here. This is not only going to help your positive expectancy on your SPY play, but it's also going to be bringing your credit spread back in. We've seen this happen before in our credits, right? And they end up going back and like, we never would have thought it ever would have done that, but it can. You're up $100 on 5 contracts if you did it. Looking for about $1.25 more, maybe less, based on how long it takes, more VWAP comes in. And remember, you got the 90 EMA on the 5 coming at 645.21. We're gonna get a little move at Walmart here. First Solar's coming back here. I have a good mind to be in this long for Solar for a play. Again. 2,500 risk. Like it. Well, the option chain on First Solar. Typically, these are run out to. Well, I don't want to go out that far, but I'll run into around 30 days. October 3rd, let's go 1 day less, 28 days. No volume in there, 35 days. No volume in there. It's gonna make you go out or come in. October 10th. It's gonna make us go to the monthly expirations in here. That's not a great thing. Honestly, just don't see the options in here. We'll have to play this short-lived here. October 21 is the best thing we've got in here. Volume there, but good open interest here. People are playing this out of the money a little bit. I don't like the spread there. SPY back down to 644.07, so we kind of gave that money back, but market not convinced yet. Maybe double bottom. Try moving out on First Solar, paying up for a little bit. Too far out. Bad. So I'm gonna do the October 17th. It's out Bedford. I want to go. I don't want to play this in stock. Oh, they just added that. I didn't apparently. Let's see. There it is. So First Solar. $17,200 calls. Let's slow the other money on that, but not much. Too much time in there. Put in 1380 on this. Okay. Good. There's 85 at the bid now. One more little pushback to DWAP or the 5 should do it. Walmart's still chug-a-lugging here. Common, not so much. The 8, see the 8 killed it just like the can of Raid. Didn't get billed yesterday on that. Okay, the bid is there. 14, 20 cents away. Yeah, I'm out far in this. This is good. I'll do the ad if I need to. Do you like the setup? Pan Strong Seller, CSIQ, ENPH, Solar Edge. Although down, it's up overall compared to the market in here. Here comes the market back again.
What was the entry on the 645 call? Was it 90 cents?
I'm in at $1.
Okay, I got in
I
at
just,
9.
what I did, I just hit market when I got there. And whatever market gave.
I
So
just
you for 108 here if you wanted.
I got filled at 90 because I didn't knew what was your market. I just put 0.9.
Yeah,
Nine.
in there, anywhere in there. 95 up on the bids here. I'm gonna wait for the pullback for it's over here. Give me 1 second. This way. Here we go. Dog wants to walk into the front door. Not gonna happen today. Maintaining the first over 1380. You like that setup? All right, well, back, right back, guys. All right. Off for 1 second, guys. Cancel out YouTube. Okay, what we got here? No fill on First Solar. Market's trying to make that little reversion here. If you make money on the credit spread today, you'll make a fortune on the SPY. And you'll make it both ways here. But I'm almost hedging that in a sense, right? And I know we're both directional at the same direction, so can't really call it a hedge, but with this type of drawdown, we usually get a bounce. But no guarantee. Kava, knew she got out of this Kava. Canna raid, it's darn 8. We are making up some ground on the Walmart. So Mike, if you're at 90 cents, you got a nice 30-cent push on your SPY. You got about a 15-cent push.
I'm seeing 110 now. 110,
Back a little bit there, yeah, but so it's just now getting back above the 2-minute 90 EMA. But look where it is on the 5-minute 90. This is my concern. It always is, right? But sometimes when you're down so far in the broader market, sometimes stocks don't do this. It'll eventually get through that, right? See where you are up in the 8 period moving average in here? Like you're holding on to the daily. There's no reason why we shouldn't close above the daily here. But again, that's all speculation. But that's gonna have to mean that we stay above the 5, because eventually the 5 is gonna come down. Up from the last 9 bars. Once you get down in here, the 5 is gonna come lower. So eventually you will be above it if you sit here, because the 5 bar will come in. So I want to see it get above it and then use that as a little bit of kind of like quote unquote support. Trend line or moving average support. It's subjective, just like trend lines are, but you go with it. No day trades today, and for good reason. Look, they all pulled in. Some went back up to the top. Choppy, messy. Look at this stuff in here. Dell, Marvell might go lower, but you're already at 17% down. SPY came back down. Again, I worked at 646 calls on this, right? Or 645s. Where are we? 645s. So you're not bad, right? Because we only have to finish to be even on this. Not that I'm going to try to be even. Is $1 over. So 646 is your break even point, right? Now, we're not doing it for that. But the fact is that we're not that far away, but you are in a 0 DTE. So you got to keep that in mind. You don't want to stay down here forever. Let's say it's 643. You want to start that movement up so we don't fall into the probabilities going against us a little bit more. Again, we still have 644, 645. We still have, from a 50 delta perspective, you guys still got about 75 cents of movement in here. Puts you out around 150 of premium. We could go to $2 in premium in here. That'll make this trade be $500 if you got on 5 contracts. If you got 90, a little better. Market's still struggling in here. What's First Solar doing? Kind of got away. We didn't get filled at 80, 1480. Did move up. I don't want to miss the trade, but I want to go bang for it. You got the 15-minute supply right here, and you got the 200 on the 15. That tells me that First Solar should not move yet or struggle for the move. Trying. It's at the 90 EMA on the 5 here. It's the highest of the rebound so far, price wise. We'll start climbing deltas a little quicker too, probably move up by about 5. Apparently they hate Mediterranean. I'll probably play. I'm only in half lot, so I have no worry on maybe adding that position later. Yeah, not now. So I'm good with that. We're out in time here. It's my Walmart is one that would be more concerning, right? And I'm not concerned it's moving up now. It's definitely oversold short term. SPY holding on this little lower area. The 9 EMA on the 5 is at 644.99, so right at the whole number. Also a 646 retracement puts us back. We look at the 15-minute chart, about 50%. I'm just eyeballing it, see what it actually is here to here. Puts us just slightly over. So actually where the VWAP 76, somewhere between 76 and 646 is your 50% retracement in your in the spiders. We're in a bullish market still, so I would imagine that's not impossible. more probable. So we're pulling in back to 1385. No fill yet. And again, this is an ad. This is still a possible ad if we go back. We might get filled here shortly. $80 is the bid. It's getting close.
What kind of target do you use on that SPY play?
What's that?
What kind of target will you use on the SPY play, which you are in?
Well, you got a couple targets. 50% retracement is somewhere between 645, 75, and 646. I would think the one SDD line would be a target.
Yeah.
Or VWAP. VWAP's coming in 645, 43. So somewhere between 645.5 and 46. If you want to play
The
bigger,
anchored VWAP. Okay.
yeah. VWAP up to the SD1 line. Because that all falls into about 50% retracement.
Got it.
Now, again, we're probably going to stymie right here. We went past this here, went up to 11, 644.98 is the 5. See, we're struggling here. We may struggle before we go higher. If you want higher prices, you're going to have to risk it that it's not going to come down and do a retest. See the initial pullback there off the 5? You can almost count on that. It's just so reliable. And then if you're extended enough, you'll get through it, right? If the bids still want to play, they'll fight it. Walmart's still doing good. Should climb pretty good here. I'm looking for the 8 on my exit. Or at least to trail it at the 8. I won't necessarily exit there. It's another almost $1. So I'm still holding it together here. The high of this bar is same bar, it's 11. Still fighting the 9. And remember, we got the pressure from the 8 up here, which is good. Also be a retest on this before it goes, if it goes. No guarantee. See, I'm already fighting because where I got in here at around 25 or 20 or so at $1, it's at 62 and it's basically flat. See, so you're already fighting a little bit of decay in this because we're $1 out from our strike. Not crazy, right? I didn't want to go $1.50 because I wanted to be up in contracts and maximize my risk $500 initially. Then I'll add to it if I want to. Be careful when you add to out of the money plays. So we're started up at the 8 or just slightly above it. Market coming in a little bit. See where it is now? SPY is at 6.4. Okay, I got filled on the for silver here. So now I'm back to the SPY, sort of where I entered, and see where I'm down. I'm 15 cents worse. There now. And look at where this started. Just to kind of go back, it all started at 5. In hindsight, could we have taken profits here, re-entered? Yeah. Perfect hindsight, but not gonna help us out moving forward. So we're getting that retest area now. Like tilt. The bonds gapped up underneath that area. Rates probably jumped. But dirty dog. All right, so we're in for solar officially. We're about break even. This is right where I entered, and I was in at $1. Now it's 85 cents. You see that? That's a product of being a little bit out of the money on a 0 DTE. We all know the SPY. These things can come back with vengeance, or just the market in general. Low 643.63. Put a higher low pivot here. What turned it? 9 EMA. We are heading for retest.
You know what softens the blow of a losing trade is when your wife brings you a hot cinnamon roll and a warm cup of coffee.
Well, I don't know how she's gonna soften that blow for me. She's got real long arms. But I agree with you.
I was kind of distracted. Did you buy some calls in the SPA, in the SPYs to offset the?
Well, yeah, I did, but I bought them in the same direction, a bounce. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't buy them. And
What was your strike? 645?
Yeah, it was 646, and it came down. I lowered to 645 because I
Would you
want to
have-
stay around $1. It's $1.50 for the higher strike.
Would you have considered buying on Tuesday because the premiums were higher and the gap would have been more profitable for you?
Well, no, I'm only doing this because it's a 2 standard deviation play.
Okay.
Yeah, just intraday. It's a 0 DTE.
Yeah, I was looking at 1 DTE because the premiums were, of course, now it'd kill you, but the premiums were the jump was larger.
Yeah,
So the profitability was bigger. And I'm just kind of wondering if theoretically
because I can lose
doing
500.
this, you'd look one day forward, do a 1 DTE kind of hedge against
Yeah.
it instead of 0 DTE.
Yeah, you get more premium, so you're subject to that gap in the morning unless you run it high today and sell out.
Yeah,
But
and
I
of
like
course,
my worst risk is like $500.
yeah, your risk is higher too, so.
Yeah, you could compensate if you use a fixed number of 500 and go down to 2 or 3 and be at the same place if you wanted to.
And then if you think it was gonna keep falling, then instead of buying calls, you'd buy puts, right?
If you thought it was gonna keep falling, you would buy puts, yeah.
Right.
Okay, we took out the low. Interestingly enough, there was our retest.
It's getting close to moving a 1-day ATR. It's like about a little over 5, the 1-day ATR.
So
it's
far,
getting-
the last 2 days, we've been on the wrong side of the credit debit thing.
Yeah, I think that the odds of the trade are catching up with us. This will be my
Yeah,
third.
yeah,
day.
this is just the pullback. You're gonna have it. I've
Yeah.
talked about it for a while, just expect it. And, just kind of follow the rules, it takes the emotion out, just let it is what it is. It'll ultimately it's gonna work out. But in the short term, you're gonna go through some plays in this. But
It's amazing.
you can afford to do it because you came out of the box with some nice profits on this, so you can afford for that to happen.
It's amazing what building up a surplus can do for your mental approach to the thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty lost, just pretty much laid back about the fact that I'll probably lose today, and I've lost 2 days previous today, but I'm not panicking and I'm not emotional about it. Just saying, okay, that's the way things are gonna work out. There are gonna be some days you're gonna lose, but if you follow the rules and if you believe in the stats, in the longer term, you're gonna have profit.
Yeah,
But in order to get that attitude, you have to be playing with house money.
always better when you fill the buckets.
Yeah, it's just interesting. I'm going back to that book that you had recommended. I can't remember the name of it, where the guy talked about the mental aspects of trading. And in a way, you have to have a don't give a damn attitude. I'm going to continue to do what seems to be profitable for me and not worry about the bumps in the road along the way. That's kind of,
Otherwise, you're gonna gain a lot of weight in the cinnamon rolls, so
yeah.
you're right. So you're gonna keep bringing them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you gotta-
can't remember the name of the book, but it was one that you recommended. It was damn good too.
Probably Trading in the Zone by Mark.
Yeah,
Twain.
Trading in the Zone. That's what it was. Yeah. But it's really hard to overcome your initial attitudes that you have. It's really hard to overcome your emotions. No doubt
It
about it.
is. It's everything, because emotions lie to you too.
Yep. It forces you to make unprofitable decisions. When you go by emotion, you make unprofitable decisions.
Move into hope mode. I'm trying to enter my position again. Okay, we're getting there.
Yeah, I'm watching this thing continue to deteriorate and head toward the maximum loss very dispassionately. For me, the max loss is about almost $400. And it's not that I don't care, but it's like, okay, if it does that, I'll have to accept it and move on.
Yep,
It's the belief system. People say we need to believe in it, but the first thing is you need to repeat it to believe it.
Yeah, that's a good point. You have to
I'm
repeat
gonna
it
add to my
believe it.
position here soon because, what's that, 5% of the chance it closes below 2 standard deviation, the 2-minute turn on that 643.46. New bar coming, market order.
Well,
And-
the other thing we got going against us is this is a Friday before a weekend holiday. And I suspect that there's going to be even further deterioration if it kind of follows Friday patterns,
Yeah, I'm hoping that it gets stymied off the 8 on the daily chart. I'm gonna get in here, guys, on this 2-minute break.
Well,
Right
for,
here.
for me, we are
Okay.
near the division.
I'm in now. I have an average position of 81 cents. And I have 10 contracts. That's where I want to live. All right, so I have a worse risk of $800. It's not a big, I won't go down that far, but I'm a little out of money to get that too. So I need a bounce. If I do, this will come back to the vengeance. So I'm 81 cents and I use this touch of the standard deviation line. Then just took this just a 2-minute break. Technically, it never broke. It broke in the same bar. That's at 57. It looks like it will. So I got in right here. And hopefully we'll get this more than a subtle bounce here. down on First Solar a little bit, so I could still pull into the market, just dragged everything down again. Right, the VWAP and anchor. Right, there's the break point of the two, I think. Right there, okay, so we broke the two, so I'm in probably a little better price. Won't have long about the 81, you're gonna have to stretch, Mark have to go higher, but just working with lower deltas now. To get back to break even. So we have $1 in. We're netting in to 81 cents on our ads. And that's a 2 standard deviation touch. We had a chance in here, just the 90 MA on the 5 caught it. See, it just caught it, pushed it down one more level.
Is your strike still 645, Jeff?
Yeah, because it would make it all weird if I went 2 strikes in different channels. So I went the same strike. Looking for a bounce off the 8. The 8's sitting here at 644. So if it blows above that, I'm close. But I'm sure I'll get above that. But
So your mark on the premium's about 62, 63 cents, something in that range. Like right now.
but I'm at 81.
Yeah, your average is 81.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I
So
have
you-
10 contracts that added.
You're now much better than me because I got it at 90. So
Right. So you're at 90 on your
one
Well,
contract.
one contract.
Yeah.
So
I
if
just
you
went
went
with one
in,
contract.
if you doubled up, Mayank, you'd probably be at about
70.
70.
He'd be around 70,
yeah.
but a dime better than me. He'd be like
That's why
80.
that's why I didn't bother saying it's only $9 difference between 81 and 90. So I didn't bother to add on saying, okay, well, I'll take the risk of if I do that, then I will increase my total risk, which is 140. Now the total risk is 90, which I'll increase to 140.
Right, so I went from 500 risk to an 800 risk, right? So I actually gained on my risk a little bit. Proportionately, but went lower, if you think about overall.
And do we need to close SPY because it will be assigned, right? So we'll have to close this one.
What's 0 DTE? It's gonna close itself if you don't close it, sure.
So we'll have to close it before the end of day then.
Well, if you close it, you're gonna have commissions on both sides too.
Oh, it'll be a close, there's no doubt. Right? You have to close this, otherwise if it sits running all day, it's gonna just drop in price because your strike's at 645.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna lose value, time value.
See,
We're just hoping the 2-minute standard deviation 2 times. I know it closes, we need to close quite a bit more above, not here. But
so the so today's case is we are 2 standard deviation line. We have already moved the ATR normal ATR range in here. I'm looking at SPX also. Let me just quickly check SPX. How much more we have? Okay, so we have moved about 95% of the ATR range. We are at 2 standard deviation. So
and we are pushed below the 8 in a bullish market.
yeah,
Usually you find a home back above that.
yes. The only worry is the 5 minute that 9 EMA. Is it the 9 EMA on 5?
Right, really, the last 9 bars, it'll keep going down,
Yeah.
and which means it's easier to cross if it keeps going pushing up against it. One little.
Yeah. And I think we are extended towards downside. So it has to come towards the mean. That mean could be somewhere up. So that should give us at least something on the SPY call, if not on the fly. Because to get into the fly win, it has to climb up. What number? We have to come back at least
But you gotta go back to
yeah,
647.
646.7 or 646.8-ish. Which is how many more from here?
I put an order in at 60.
Well, to be fair, we are to get into either break even profit, all we need is 20 points of move back up. That's all we need. And fly as well, just to get break even or something.
Yeah, it won't take much, but it doesn't need to wait all day either. Because
Yeah.
once you start losing probabilities. The
That is-
time, they will say, hey, you can do it, but your time is pressuring down on it.
If we close where we are, I think we'll end up with about $140 on fly negative.
We don't know.
Bob, you still there? Bob, I saw the star, green star on that indicator.
Yeah, I had to step away. So it went down a little bit further than I thought, but there was another liquidity line down there. So I'm just curious.
Yeah, so I saw that green star on one of the indicators, and that RSI also turned green after that, right after that star on 5-minute chart.
Yeah, and it
So-
gave us a little bit of profit, but maybe it'll turn back up now.
Yep. They have two pushes down. One.
Looking back at the lines I drew on the SPY specifically, since we're in it in the 5-minute chart. Once it broke through the area, if you use the 2-minute chart, once again, if you did it, once it broke here, you would have been in at 644.25. Not much difference, because you would have been on this 5-minute bar break at 644.39. So actually you would have came out a little worse. It did go higher, it went lower, but your strike would be at the money 640.4. You would have had about $1 better strike once we crossed the low. It's trying to get to you. See where it's coming back up to the 9 EMA here. 644.25 and went up to 644.23 right now. I suspect this thing continuing lower. I think we're going to hopefully end up breaking this, because the 8 here is going to repel that a little bit. And it's not one thing breaking it, but we need to break and close and get some stance off this. We're back to break even on this, or at least I'm at 80. Now 10 contracts back where we were. This thing will start to put the juice in.
I got too greedy on my bid. I should have got in at 62, 63 cents, but I missed it.
Yeah, you had it like you missed about what, 3 or 4 cents.
Yeah. I was looking to get in around the low, but
What was, and you get a 645 strike? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. 644, you'd have paid up
645,
for
yeah.
it, you'd have paid up for it around $1.20 or so.
yeah, it hit a low of 58 cents. So I started off at 60 and I went up to
You're like me in
61.
these options. Yeah, I fish so low where I never get filled.
It just keep running the wrong direction, and I wasn't going to
Yeah.
chase it. I just watched it, got bored. The smoke started coming out of my ears on this one.
All right, first order of business, cross this darn 5 and close and give me a wide range bar that sticks. First order of business. Once we get that.
I was throwing pennies around like they were sewer covers.
I'm looking at the GEX chart, and I still see a significant volume at 6,500, and the other volume was 64.45. Sorry.
Hey,
Yeah.
have you checked the GAMI charts on on the GEX? What are they saying?
So this is like, remember I coded that. Let me just take a screenshot and put it in here. 1 second. This is what I'm looking at. Copy image. I'll put it in our chat window.
Okay.
Come on, we. If you look at this GEX chart or GAMI chart, whatever you want to call it, yes, we are in the negative GEX environment, which is the bottom chart showing, bottom line showing, but which means we can go down fast, we can come up fast as well. And according to me right now, there are two potential centers. One is around 6,500, other is around, what is that, 6,440. Now,
That puts it right in line with VWAP in the top in here.
yeah. So if the higher volume is towards 6,500, and that is like almost, if I imagine today turn to, if ever it goes to 6,500, that daily candle will leave a very long tail behind. But like it has been like, I've been running this every 5-10 minutes, and it has been like this chart for some time. That means there is something at 6,500 which we are not seeing. Only price action can tell us. So I'm just waiting for this play to come across and see what happens.
Did you get filled on your 6 DTE?
No. Oh,
Did
sorry.
you-
Yes. Yes. I did. I didn't realize. I'm in the 6 DT play, which was supposed to be 7 DT yesterday. So I'm in there. If anybody wants, it's at 0.56 right now.
And G did too. I guess everything kind of did. And it's still up there. Looks like healthcare. It isn't a ton, but it did make a decent move here. Holding pretty well. Did pull back on specifics like UNH, but okay. Need to bolt through. We're at the 9 again, right? But look at the price of the 9 now. We were at 65. Now we're down here. At some point, as you keep counting 9 bars back, this keeps pushing down on it, and the price can't stand it anymore, and it breaks through. So it's almost like you just keep pushing something down and it pops. And that's where we hope it can be. We need to get above it, stick. We are above it.
We
We're
are
84 cents, so you're close to break even on your deal. You're 90. I'm a little below my dollar, but I'm above my ad. Now this will run to $500-600 pretty quick, because if it goes, just because I've got those 10 contracts now, and we climb these deltas.
Good
I'm
for
just
you
looking-
guys, but I'm never getting in.
Yeah,
I'm just watching that 5-minute chart of yours, Jeff. We are just if we close this candle above, that is the good sign.
Yeah. There's some good movement in here. I've been 1108. See if it sticks or not.
I guess
I'm-
I should be happy because the
See,
XSP is going in the right direction.
Either way would have been a hedge in a sense. If I did a debit, I go long, I'm hedging against the debit. But since I did a credit, I'm both the same way. Right? And I'm hoping that I can make $400 or $500 here and I can hedge my XSP. Yeah, I'm not hedging, but it just happened to be, it went so far down where that's an entry place for me.
No,
Okay.
it makes sense what you did. And if it works out, you're going to be a double winner.
Yeah. And if it doesn't, I'll be a double loser.
Yeah, but it had moved so fast to one standard deviation that it just kind of looked like it was overextended to the downside to me.
Well, yeah, well, we know what 5% of the time it closes below this area. That still wouldn't be a winner, but it does close below that area. So we knew that we think of where it might turn. And if you get enough people believing in that, it hopefully will be beneficial to everybody. So we're all the way back down to open line gap fill. It's fine on here. It's a little, looks a little worse in here, but I do like the pattern on this. But you know how patterns are working out these days. Where are those big wide range, you know, $3 SPY bars when you need them, right? Dow's climbing a little bit back to 152 down. NASDAQ is climbing a little bit here. If they lighten up on the SMH here, you will see the SPY go. And so far, they're still staying. If they get a nice little tail in here, that'll help the broader market too. We're up at 70 now. Before, I think we were as high as 645.11. We are back and we closed above bar one. Remember, as a general rule, I look for 2 bars close above and then breaking over whatever the highest of the high is. We got 1. And we're working on 2. I've neutralized my profit and loss here. Like if I sold out of my XSP, which I'm not, and I sold out of my SPYs, I'm dead even. The 2. Yeah, see, second guessing my 8. Remember, I kept saying the 8 is concerning me and went up to, I asked for a nickel higher, it didn't give it to us, and we suffered the downside on Kava. I keep pointing these out, and if you see it enough, like me, I believe in these things so wholeheartedly. And then once in a while, they just blow right through it like it's not there. But I'd say the lion's share of the time, there's a lot of indicators on the street, big money, what have you, algorithmic, sitting at the 8 EMAs on the daily chart. I haven't always had that on my list, but lately that's been one of the most powerful indicators on the daily time frame, just like that 5-minute 9 EMA can be powerful on the 8 on the intraday here. There's this buy here, and we closed once above, right? We haven't closed above here yet, trying to, and if it did close above, then the high of any one of these 2 bars creates a new move higher. Now that's just how I do it. Eventually, see. So Bill, our break even, I think Mayank had mentioned earlier on the XSP. So we're at 49. If I'm thinking correctly, 47 is break even, no?
Break even for me
Yeah,
is
two- yeah, two-
646.95.
Roughly 47 though. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
so
roughly
40.
47.
Yeah,
Yeah.
roughly. Yeah.
So it's only $1 here. So if the SPY moves back up to this area, we're at close break even, whether it's 6 or not, who knows, but we'll be close break even. You can see 63 and the SPY 64. Once again, now we also have 81 cents of intrinsic values, meaning that we need to close 81 cents above 645 to be break even. So even though it's close, it's got to get above there because we are slowly chipping away at our value here. We're about 20 cents better, but it's still got to make the move. And lately, the ranges have been tighter, so the expected moves have been smaller, and that's how they're factoring this in.
Yeah. I'm going to check the expected move.
Just 60 cents away from to make 645 in the money. That will change it from 0.9 where I'm break even to 1.5-ish.
Yeah, the expected move right now on the XSP is $2.40.
Yep.
Yeah, basically $1.20 and it's a scratch. There's the 5-minute chart. Got about 30 seconds left. We closed once above. We're trying to close twice above. We're not there yet. Low on that's 35. We're at 41, 53. Ideally, you want to see green bars, but there we are. Can't quite seem to get the close above there yet. It's about to happen in 5 seconds or 10 seconds. And then once it does, whichever the peak is of the two bars, look at that. 36, 34. Okay, there's 41. Where did we close at? We closed just above it. Now it's this area here. We got to break 76. So technically we closed above it twice. Hopefully this will be a little subjective support here on the intraday. I mean, we moved back from 644, the high of 76. And what was I up on this? Just I was up like 120, 130. So we moved back 30 cents. Look how it affected the stock price. Went back $100 in the option. It's got to go. It can't sit around here and dicker around. It has to make that move. When you're on these 0 DTEs, time is not on your side, but gamma is.
I think if we break the high of that candle, the previous, not that one, the red bar even before, the bigger red bar on the left.
Oh, of course, yeah, up here.
That,
But look at your VWAP's coming down in there. It's 14, that's 11. Right at it. But yeah, it's a starting point. It's taking its time. In a bullish market, you don't usually sit around. You make that move pretty radically, but it's right now it's still kind of posturing sideways. And you do have to also begin to watch the 15-minute 9 coming in. That's still up quite a ways. It's 644, 645 and a quarter. But again, each time we go another 15 minutes, this bar is going to close in on it as well. It becomes your next enemy, if you will. Just not getting out of the box here yet. Sideways just needs to hold. Break. Look at that. I'm flat here. 42.
The SPY is riding right on anchored VWAP right now.
I have
Right.
anchored 647.
yeah, anchored is way up.
I
You
don't know
want
if
to
I've got-
previous day, Bill?
yeah, I do. I got it on 828. I'm showing anchored VWAP at about 644.36.
Close to
Mm,
647.
yeah, I'm seeing the same as well. So I'm seeing
Something's
anchored
wrong
VWAP.
with my chart then.
Anchored VWAP, I'm seeing at 640, just below 647, 646.92 something.
Wow, mine's way off. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I was looking at the wrong line. You're right. 646.93. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay. I was looking at a white line because normally I had anchored VWAP showing white, and that was my nine moving average. So, well, it's sitting right on top of the 9 moving average. Correction. Yeah, if it moved to anchored VWAP, we'd be in pretty good shape.
I would like
So
that.
that's what- I'm just checking the GEX again because it's not moving.
We closed both above, but again, you have to get above the highest of the two bars, and it hasn't done it yet. Pulled in, it's straddling it now. 33, it's around 30. There's a little jump, but right around it's flat.
See,
Got a hold there. I mean, part of me wants to take half my contracts off and re-enter at the low again, but again, it's too late in the day to play zero DTE. Unless I'm playing it all the money down there, not averaging in. Now, if I were to play it all again, I could exit the year and bank on it going down. I have no problem playing it at 2 o'clock, but I'm gonna be averaging at 2 o'clock. Look at First Solar took the hit. I'll be darned.
This is the third bar we did not close below that VWAP line. Oh, sorry, EMA line. We just closed above the EMA line on 5 minute again. Oh, in mine it was showing just above, but you're showing just below. Is it a 8 or 9?
It's the 9.
Mhm.
The 8 on the daily chart,
No.
and I use the 9 on the intraday.
Oh, volume.
Probably pretty close, but there's a little difference. So it would help to break that bar, 60, right? That'd be your little 2-bar pullback, 5-minute subjective area, the EMA. But this is the true bar right here, 76. About 15 cents difference of those 2 bars. It's just sitting here flat. They just can't seem to kind of get the girth yet. Or hasn't turned yet. Mine is off 0.71%. 462. A lot. It's actually right at 1 SD. Either way on the SPY. Straddling 9. Okay, a little break here. Again, it got to break 60, but the big one is 76. Getting close to that one. So let's see if we get a little movement higher. 55. Okay, there's bar one. See if it rejects or goes here. So 60 was the break point. It did go to 61. Then this is the bigger one here for me. You still got some issues to overcome. But I think we're oversold enough. If the market doesn't go all dirtbag on us, they could buy this back. Who knows? Look what they did yesterday.
On a 15-minute, if this candle closes in this pattern, most probably that 3 bar micro channel kind of that will be there in 15-minute chart. If we just uh, move high above the mark which you were just saying, Jeff. If we move above that mark, so we will be in that 3 bar macro channel kind of thing. But it seems it's not liking that.
Struggling there. Got to get up here because still got plenty of time. Still, doesn't need to linger down here when you're doing zero DTs. You got to get after it. $60 again, $61. We can't break 61 yet. $61, $62. We broke it barely. On 76 break is our next nemesis here. The new 476 went to it, not through it. Actually did with 77 by 1 penny. So you see, it looks like, we'll see, knock on wood. We're trying to hold above the 5 now, right? Went from never going above it to trying to hold it. It's still kind of flip-flamsy around here, but still it's on the other side of it here, at least in the short term. It only went above that number literally by a penny, like it did before. Above 60, 61, then it finally got going. This went up to 60, 76 from 70, 77 from 76, 1 penny, and pulled back just like it did on the previous bar break. Hopefully they'll stick with it. Flat on premium. Video would help. That turns around. It has turned around a little bit. You can see the market here. You've got a lot more to do though. It's a big part of why SMH is so far down. And it's having a hard time here. Let me give up on it.
It's not leaving that EMA line of yours, Jeff.
Yeah, it's like, once you go on this side, it's subjective, but it seems to be holding it, right?
Yeah.
Before we could pass it with anything, right? You go to it. Once you get on the other side, you got a little, we have two things going for us. Number one, we're in an overextended play here. Two things going for us. We're on the other side of the 9, which doesn't guarantee anything, but it certainly puts us in a better spot. And we're back up to where the 8 is here, trying to close above it, daily chart. But again, this could retest as well. If I retest, I'd probably get out. I'd have to re-enter if I stayed in it at the money spy. But I would have to take the loss and have to have a bigger run higher. Some point you just can't live in the same. Look at it, blow it now. The same strikes. It's trying to hang on, keeps closing above it. Most times, that time it did not. But it keeps trying to close above it. Having a time though. The number now, it's at 37, 38, I guess. It's right at it. Ah, new low on that bar.
I just got filled on that call hedge at 65 cents.
You pegged the bottom there, Bill.
Yeah, I just left it in there. I wasn't paying any attention, and then the bell rang.
The issue is, as you get the later, sometimes you might want to pay up more and take the lower strike. I mean, you're
Yeah.
fine because you're a better price, but because as you get later, you don't want to be too far out of the money.
Yeah, the premium's gonna get sucked up.
So we get more.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. You're able to get less if it doesn't turn.
right. If it doesn't
So
turn.
far, it's closed one below or trying to close, well, not really 2 minutes away still, but it's threatening to close below this bar. A lot of times they don't, more than 2 bars, but we'll see.
Yeah, I almost went the other way. I almost bought a put.
It's 11:30. It's a little market moving time. Ironically, the bar hasn't closed. The 8 is at 36 and we're about a dime out, nickel out, 6 cents. So we still haven't closed below it, but threatening. Like for the market to go and break Walmart, I hate going in. You got a 15-minute buy setup on Walmart, a little bit of a square top there, but I don't like being this heavy with 14 days out. We're break even here. So it's got a good chance of doing okay, but to see if market still wants to close down below this bar near the low is 00. Got about 5 seconds left in this bar. And likely, okay, some closer, okay, so we got one down below here. Just like before, we don't want to see two below and then the break below that. There's one, okay, we'll give it that, it needs to move.
Mac, are you still with us?
Yes,
Um, one time you published how to calculate the next day's standard deviation, and I kind of remember it, but it's kind of like a straddle with the bids and the asks and so on. I wonder if sometime, if you had some time, you could republish that so that we could do our own calculations, on various, like you do the spies, but I'd also kind of like to calculate on the XSP and on the spy and the SPXs and so on. So if you would do that, then I can do that myself and put that on my charts myself.
no, I'll like if you want next mentoring session for quick 10-15 minutes, I'll do all three SPX, SPY, XSP
Yeah. Yeah,
live.
just if you give
Yeah.
us the formula for doing it, then I can put it in my script code, and then I can have it automatically calculated every day for each index that I'm in. That way I don't have to keep posting it.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do the same.
Thanks. Someday I need to talk to you about there's one thing in script that I just can't get right, and it's just driving me crazy. So offline, I need to just one thing that seems so simple to do, and I can't do it. It's
Maybe talk like outside the meeting, one-on-one. Show me what you are trying to do, and I might be able to help you.
yeah. How do I do that? Should I email you something?
Yeah, email me. I'll send you a
Okay.
Zoom.
Okay.
Send me some calendar timing as well. What's your availability? I'll send you a
It's
Zoom link as well.
it's so simple you're gonna laugh at it, but it's been like 2 weeks I've been trying to do it and I just can't get it. It's just driving me nuts. It's such a simple thing, but I just can't get it. And
That's
I know
okay, Bill.
your script is
That's
a
why,
little.
that's why he has his son to handle things like that from you.
Well, all I have are daughters, and they don't care about this stuff. They're too busy being successful at what they're doing, and I'm twiddling bits here. But
Well, you're twiddling 60s and hey, you're up 15 cents.
that's true. I twiddled enough bits in my life to figure out how to twiddle. But yeah, it even though our scripts are different, the logic of the thing is what I need. You know what I'm saying? That I use toss scripts, you use some other type of scripting.
Data connection lost.
Yeah, that was me. That was my system.
Okay.
Go
So
crazy.
so if you give me the logic, I can translate it to how toss does it.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Okay. Like I posted a script on the message board that was, and you probably saw it, and I'm sure you figured it out right away what it would be in the type of script that you write,
Yeah, I'll definitely look into it and
Okay,
see what we can do.
appreciate it.
No problem.
We engulfed
big-
this part. Notice we closed once below, but not twice, right? I mean, yet. Here, close once above, didn't get above that bar. Closing. And it didn't get above this bar. It's just kind of straddling this line right here. Trying to pick a direction.
Big deal. I'm up $10, but that's not what I was looking for.
I'll trade you my 72 down for that.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. It's all relative. Your perspective is all relative on where you
Right.
entered.
Yeah, we're trading 10 contracts. Bezos would be trading about 100,000. I'm only down 600K. Kava has pushed away from the 8 and doesn't want any part of it anymore. Walmart holding better than the market here, but problem is the 8's catching it.
You know what this chart looks like is a great that play that I used to be doing that had depended on very little movement. It was an iron butterfly trade. And boy, that would be great for today because it is just not moving between 645 and 646. It's just comatose. That type of iron butterfly that looks at no movement during the dead time would be perfect.
Yeah, I bet we would have been at 75% target in the debit today.
I think you're right.
Because it stayed down here for long enough that
Let's
the
look at
price
it.
increased.
Let's just look at it. Look at the debit.
And Bill, you might be looking at 15-minute 3-bar micro channel.
Yeah, you know, the problem with that is for the effect on the buying power, if you do it on the XSP and you're doing like 70 or 80 shares, the effect on your buying power is just humongous if you do it on the stock. So that's not as good a hedge as I thought it would be.
Well, if you look at the SPY 15-minute chart, I can see Jeff has it small screen there. Do you see the last 3 bars turned out to be a lower high, lower high? Sorry, higher low, higher low, higher low. And
15-minute.
correct. And all
Yeah,
3 highs are
yeah.
higher than high. So
Yeah.
your code would have said, go green, take a bullish trade here.
Let me
That's
take
what
a look at the 5-minute.
5-minute is not valid. I think 15.
No, the 5 minutes. Well, there was a 5-minute trade that started at 10:55 Eastern.
Mhm.
There were 3 up green bars and then a down red bar that would have been a 25% pullback. But it really hasn't moved in the good direction. You know, it's not doing anything. It's kind of stuck between 1 standard deviation and 2 standard deviations.
Video to do something here. And they might follow along. Look at this Mindy slingshot play, 200 or not, 8 or not, it went. Paradigm back at the high here, but back to where, see how it tried to never create a handle in here. It just created up and down, right? Trading in a range. SPY can't seem to get going on any time frame here. It's just straddling the 5. It's a red bar and green bar. So technically, this did not close twice above. The 9. I mean, technically it did. Flat is above. So, not if it did though, this would be the under 64. That's uncertain what happened there. I'll probably have to leave the strike and re-enter on a move down at the lower strike here. We're just straddling this line. We can't seem to get above it or below it for any length of time, or above it ideally for any length of time. Been sitting down there for quite some time.
It's like watching paint dry.
It's paint, definitely. And then you know, we're also in the doldrums, so that's not
Yeah,
really
yeah.
anything unusual.
exactly. We're in the
Sometimes-
doldrums and we have a small rate of change, and that's the time when that iron butterfly is really a great trade. The rate of change is little, the market is pretty comatose, and it just decays really pretty fast.
Okay, excellent. I paid for the second option. What did I add at? Calls, I added it, 61, so I'm about a nickel ahead of my ad here, so I'm better off to have them by a nickel so far. Change quickly here. But I didn't get in for a nickel move. All the risk.
I'm back to break even on my hedge trade.
It's
Oops.
threatened 64 again.
I'm
Come on now. You know the rules, right? As soon as you exit the trade, it's gonna take off like it's never taken off before. It almost never fails. And it's individual too. based
I'm
on
not exiting that because the most I've got at risk is $65.
55 bucks,
Yeah,
right?
I'm just
If you get
gonna,
down to 20 and you're lower, you exit, you say 40 bucks, you know it's not coming back.
I'm gonna take my slide down that 15-foot razor blade.
I'm going with you.
You got a 30-footer.
got a
No, you
bigger
got a
slide, though.
100-footer. Woo.
I got a bigger slide.
Yeah. By the way, I just posted an update a little bit ago on the XSP trade on the chat part. At the time, we were down about 110 bucks.
Can't see them in Discord. What's the break? I know the break even, but well, no, I know the break even. It's around 647. That's right.
Yeah, because the premium was 205, so it's
Yeah.
646.95. You know, the difference is a nickel. That's all. So you're right. 647 and 651 are pretty close to the break evens. Rounded off.
And SPY this is the longest it's held down here in in a bullish market, they normally do bounce a little bit quicker. We're sitting there threatening these pennies going up and down, and meanwhile, the people at Wall Street are on their third dirty martini.
The other thing I'm noticing is the volume is really down on the SPYs right now. During the doldrums, the volume really dropped.
Oh yeah. That's always been the case in the doldrums. If you think about it this way, and I don't know this to be for sure, but I had one of the moderators before tell me he worked on Wall Street. When they go out for their lunch, they put the junior executives in charge. They say, don't do anything, but don't let it go below here and don't let it go above there, right? Keep it in the range. See you when I get back. And that's what they do.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
noticed that
Oh.
on my chart at 1 o'clock my time, or excuse me, at 12 o'clock my time, 1 o'clock Eastern, there's always a surge, either a surge, bullish surge, or a bearish surge for about somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. It seems like when they get back to their desk, there's kind of a flurry of activity and it moves the market. And then it just gets killed. Whatever they do, that gets killed by a retracement or a reversal. So that's also a time where I do not trade anything. That right around when the East Coast comes back from lunch, it's always a flurry of activity.
Yeah, we closed the room for 2 hours 10 years ago, but at 1:30 we open the room again, because that's when things start to kind of shape up a little bit.
It's odd that that still happens with the advent of AI trading. You know, you wouldn't think with the machines, they don't go to lunch, you know, they're constantly
Yeah.
churning.
That may not be happening today. I'm going back in time, so yeah, that may be all algorithmic now. Probably is.
Yeah, maybe the machines know that it's human lunchtime. I don't,
They don't have to pay. They're probably better than a junior executive.
I wonder how long us as retail traders have a future. You know, machines are much
Oh, yeah,
smarter.
we just have to learn how to trade with the machines. That's okay. They'll still allow us to do it.
Yeah, but they're so fast at, boy, look at that red bar.
That's
there.
not what we want to solve. See the 5-minute here? Close once, close twice, break below. At 633.96.
Hmm.
The only hope is we're just extended to the low side and we want to buy it back, but it's living in the dream world.
Should have bet the put side. Should have.
Apparently,
Yeah.
hindsight, we're living on yachts.
Well, in a way, that was the appropriate hedge to take against the XSP.
Anyway, I'm gonna sit back here. I'll be in the background. Obviously, I'm not going anywhere. Got my position to tend to. And if I do anything, I'll let you know. We're thinking about it here. Right now, I'm just hoping that they do come back with a nice bounce in here. They're overdue. I vote.
Appreciate your insight.
Yeah, well, that insight hasn't turned into money yet, but it's just conversation for now, but we'll see. Market can do. We can have all the theories we want, speculation, but at the end of the day, the market's gonna do what it's gonna do, right? But hopefully it'll hold in here, so we get bought back. Anyway, I will be in the background. Thanks, guys, and sit here and hopefully get this thing to push back for us and make some cash in both directions, both sides, XSP and SPY. All right, guys, I'll be here if you need me.